Dari, hello from the study, and today it's the end of July 2020, and I'd like to show you an amazing tool that's going to help you run faster and safer. Actually, it needs two components. Firstly, the Swiss doggy bag, which by definition is waterproof, although other doggy bags are available. And secondly, the contents inside the doggy bag, which are, small drum roll, you ready? It's an iPhone. In fact, it's an iPhone SE. It's not the 2020 version. It's in fact something like the 2016 version. So this is a sort of 4-year-old smartphone. And I'm going to try and convince you that this is the perfect tool to take with you on every run. In fact, for me, it's every run and every cycle. Okay, so let's just power it on, and hopefully do some specs. So this happens to be the 32 gigabyte version. Let's prove it's an iPhone SE. It says iPhone SE. It's running the latest software, 13.6. So the iPhone SE is the electronics of a later generation Apple iPhone in this old shell. It's got the 4.7-inch screen, which I can barely see, but it does have sufficient hardware technology to run the latest iOS. So that's the great news. And in practice, I'm either going to pair it to my Aeropex headphones here, or my Galaxy Icon X, effectively the Galaxy Buds, if you like, the modern version headphones, depending on whether I want an open headphone, because these are bone conduction, or a closed headphone if I want to shield the outside world away. But back to the most important item, which is the iPhone itself. So why is this the perfect running tool? Well, it all hinges on size and weight, and not being totally useless at the job that it needs to do. So I've had other phones which are the same size, like an iPhone 4, and I've had larger, more modern phones like Android phones, even an iPhone 6S, but they're too big and they're too heavy. This is a 113 gram phone. It's very, very small, and its tiny size means to say that when wrapped up in this waterproof doggy bag, it can fit in the very, very smallest of running rucksacks, or in some cases it can even fit in a trouser pocket of your running trousers. It's not the perfect phone in terms of smartphone, that is, but it does do the basic things. So what things do I use it for all the flipping time? Well, first of all, it's a phone. So if you need to make a phone call, then you can do so, and you might need to do that if you have a problem, or you need to go out and you need to participate in a meeting, and you fancy doing it whilst you're out exercising, etc. There are so many reasons why you might need a telephone, and keeping a phone on you at all times is a great security blanket for any runner or cyclist. Secondly, it's got a camera which isn't brilliant, but it's not bad. It's not appalling like the iPhone 4's camera was when I had that. The 4S's was equally appalling, and it's just good enough to take snaps and get them back and download them and go, yeah, that was quite nice, and upload them to Facebook, etc. So it makes for a passable camera. It's never going to approach the latest iPhone or Android cameras. On the downsides, for me, it's running iOS, so for me the operating system's a bit amateurish compared to something like Android. It is the latest version of iOS, and it's not without its problems on this phone. In fact, at the moment there's a terrible bug which is going around, which means to say that normally the fingerprint reader or the touchscreen is just not working at all. I have to reboot it every time I want to actually use the phone, which is not very good. But on the plus side, I use it to either listen to audiobooks, which I can do via, let's check out the application. So it's loaded with the minimum applications that I need. So I've got Spotify here, I've also got Audible, and I've got VLC. So with VLC, what you can do is, if you have an audiobook which you can have locally, let's say on your computer or your PC or your Mac, which you could play as a local file. What you can do is you can upload that to the iCloud, and then sitting on your iPhone, you can say, please make a copy of that iCloud media file and download it to my smartphone. So in this way, you can get the files from your, say, PC or your Apple product and transfer them via the iCloud down to your smartphone. So that's what I do for, let's say, 20% I would say of my listening, and the other 80% is either Spotify or Audible. And with Spotify, there's what's called Release Radar, which is a list of all the tracks that have been recently released by artists that you subscribe to. So that's, I think, the default is always to take Spotify Release Radar, make an offline copy of that on the iPhone, else you can listen to something on VNC. But back to the main point, what's so brilliant about this phone is its size and weight. It's 113 grams, it weighs practically nothing. It's so absolutely tiny. Here's a Parker pen. See how small it is. It is just so diminutive, so small, so light. Running the latest Apple software, I really think you wouldn't be disappointed by getting one. They're available for about £70 on